What's up guys, Pua Davis here. Today I want to teach you how you can create fully working health system for your games. Any type of games, doesn't matter, it will be 2D or 3D. And if you like my content and want to see more videos like this, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Now, as you see, I have opened the simple scene or the player. It's from my upcoming 3D side scroller course. And we will be working here today. And by the way, if you want to learn game development, I have a lot of courses, 2D and 3D as well. They will be in the description, so you can check them out. Also, if you want to get some discount, just comment down below discount today and the name of your of the course that you want to take. But anyway, let's go now straight to the point and let's start working. First thing that I will do, I will create some obstacle, and as a placeholder, and for the example, I will use Unity's 3D object, sphere. And this sphere will act like our damaging point, basically, our obstacle or spike, or anything that you want to call it. And I will just activate trigger in the collider of it, in the sphere collider in this case. Now, first thing that we will do, we will create script which we will attach to our player. So go and create new C# script. I already have a script for us to use. I called it player health. You can call it anything. Just make sure to attach it to your player. So player health. And let's open in Visual Studio. Let's double click and open it. Now, we will need to have few variables. We will need to have public int, and let's call this one current health, comma. We also will need to have max health and also damage amount, just to know how much damage should we take from our health. Now, when the game starts, we want always to have maximum amount of health. So for that reason, we will say current health equals max health. Now, we will create new function which will be called when player gets damaged, basically. So we will say public void. Let's call this one deal damage. And what we want to do? Well, we want to damage our player. So we want to take current health and take our damage amount from there. Obviously, we can say current health equals current health minus damage amount. But to make it better, to write this mechanic better, what we can do, we can simply say current health minus equals damage amount, which is exactly same as to say current health equals current health minus damage amount. But anyway, we are taking damage from our health. After that, we should also consider fact what should happen when our health is 0. So we can say if our current health is less or equal 0, well, it means that our player should basically die. We don't have any dying mechanic, so for now, what I will do, I will just deactivate my player from the scene. You see in the inspector we have this window with the option of hiding our game object of the player. So to do that, I will say game object dot set active false. Obviously, you can use other mechanics. If you have die mechanic, you can use dying. Also, you can restart level or whatever. But anyway, now that we have this mechanic, let's save the script and let's go back. Let's compile and let's go back in Unity. And next thing will be to create another script, and this time we will attach script into our obstacle, and this script will be damaging our player basically. So create new C# script. I already have one. I called it damage player, and I will simply assign this damage player into the sphere, into my sphere obstacle. So damage player. And let's double click to open in Visual Studio. Now, what we want to do here? Well, we can use special function, special method, or the name of onTriggerEnter. So you can type onTriggerEnter, you can hit enter, and it should auto-compile. If for some reason, in your case, it's not auto-compiling, it's not a problem. You just need to type everything manually by hand. also in the brackets as well. And basically this function will be called when the game object, in this case our player, will trigger this spheres collider. As you remember, we have activated trigger option in the sphere collider. And to make everything more specific and more tailored to for our player, we can use tag system. So if I select player, as you know, we have tag and layer system. If you don't know what are those ones, you can look at them just like categories. We can create different categories and assign them to different game objects and then use them easily in our scripts, in our codes. Now, Unity usually already have a default tag for the player. So if we open this tag, we have the player, so we can assign player tag into our player game object. Of course, if you don't have the player tag, you can click add tag, you can click plus, create tag, and then again select your player and assign player tag there. Now, let's go back in the on trigger enter, and here we can say if other dot game object dot tag double equals, and in quotation marks I will say name of my tag, which is player, but we should spell it correctly, otherwise it will not work. So we have player with a capital P, so we'll say player. So when some game object with the tag of player will trigger our obstacle, what should happen? Well, basically our deal damage function from the player help script, this function should be called. But the problem is that this deal damage function is in other script, and we are now working in damage player script. So if I try to call deal damage, I won't be able to do it. For that, we can use get component method. We can say name of the script which we want to access. In this case, it's player health, and let's call this one player health with a lowercase p, and it will be equal to other dot game object dot get component, and here we will type player health. We are just getting information from our player. As you know, our player has this script attached, this player help script. So Unity will check our player and he will find this player help script. And then every time we use this player help container, Unity will know that we are referring to this player help script. So basically it means that now we have access to the player help script. And now we can simply say player health dot deal damage. That's pretty much it. We can basically save this script because everything should work fine. So let's compile. Let's go back and let's check. I will select player and I will just make maximum health to be 5 and damage amount to be 1. About current health, we don't care because it should be automatically assigned with the script. But yeah, let's hit play and let's test. So every time we touch the sphere, our health should decrease by 1 point. So let's go. And as you see now, we have 4 health. Now we have 3 health, 2 health, and 1 health, and 0. And when we get to 0, our game object is hidden. So it means that everything is indeed working. Now, next thing that we will do, we will create visuals because we don't have any kind of visuals right now. And for that, let's go and create UI, and I will create image, and I will call this image border, and I will do few modifications. First of all, in the resolution, I will change resolution to be full HD, which is 1920 by 1080. Most of the games are made in the full HD resolution, so we can use it. And in the canvas, I will change UI scale mode to be scale with screen size 1920 by 1080, which is our resolution. Now, let's select our border. Let's go in scene view. Let's hit F to find our border. And I will just take this border at the top left. It's up to you where you want to have your border. or your health bar basically. I will just um, place it here. I will select the rect tool and I will make it bigger. I will just stretch it out a little bit. And if I go in game view, now we have this white box. But this white box doesn't look any good. So we can do much better. But we will need to have some kind of health bar visuals, sprites basically. And I already have one um, for us to use. And I will attach a link for this health bar in the description, so you can also get it. Also, you can use any other health bars that you might find, or maybe you can create one for yourself. But anyway, and by the way, make sure that when you select any of those, their texture type is Sprite 2D and UI, because they might come like this in the default state, just like this, and we don't want that. So just select all of them. You can select first one, hold shift and select the last one, and it will select all of them. And just change texture type to be Sprite 2D and UI and hit apply. Now we are able to use them. Now we will select border, and we can basically drag any of those in the source image right here. So let's drag any of those. I don't know which one, doesn't really matter. And here we go. We have now visual of the health bar border. I will click on the set native size, and I will just scale it up from here, 1.5, and I will leave it as a 1 and 1. Doesn't really matter for now. You can make 1.6. Yeah, 1.6 will work fine, I think. But anyway, now what we will do in the canvas, let's create empty game object with the name of health bar. And basically this empty game object will handle all of our health bar visuals. Now let's go in scene view, select health bar, and I will just take my empty game object and drop it here. And we should try to have same size for the health bar for this empty game object as we had with the border. So I will just select the rect tool and just resize it just like this, and take it and drop it here. Now they have same size. Very nice. Next step will be to basically make this border to be child of the health bar. So we can take this border and drop inside this health bar. So let's take it and drop it inside. Now let's select health bar. And you see we have these anchor points in the rect transform component. We can select it. And well, I will now make it to have top left anchor points. And we are doing that because if someone will play our game in the different resolution, we always want our health bar to be in the top left corner. And we are just attaching our health bar to the top left corner. Obviously, if you placed your health bar in the top right corner, you instead of top left, you will use top right, and so on. Anyway, in the health bar, let's right click and let's create UI, another image. And this time, let's call this one fill. And let's go in game view. And what I will do, I will select this rect tool. I will hold down Alt and select this last one, stretch, and it will be stretched in all of the directions. And now we can basically change the source image. We can either use these red ones or blue ones. So I will use this red one. And here we go. We have the image. Image type, we should change from simple to be filled. Fill method to be horizontal. And that's pretty much it. Now if I move the slider, we have the slider, but by default I will make it on 1. Now also let's select health bar, and we should add one component here. So let's click add component, and in the search box let's type slider. We don't want slider to be interactable, so I will uncheck it. And also in the navigation I will just select it and make it to none. And in the fill rect tool field, we will drag our fill and drop it here. Let's make max value, for example, to be 5. I will activate whole numbers, and now we have this slider. This will be our main slide. Basically, only thing that is left is to connect this value and max value component with our current health that we have in the player health with this current health integer. For that, what we will do, well, let's go back in the scripts folder, and we will need one more script for the health bar. So create one more script. I called it health bar, and I will assign this health bar into my health bar game object. So let's select it, and here we go. It's here. Let's double click to open in Visual Studio. Now, since we will work with the UI elements here, up top we should add using Unity Engine .ui. Now, we will need a reference for our slider component, so I will say public slider. Let's call this one slider. Now, we don't need start and update. Instead, we're gonna create two functions, public void. Let's call this one set max health. And as a placeholder, I will use int health, and I will explain you why we needed this. But first of all, let's say slider dot max value equals health. And basically we are saying equals health, but in fact we want this max value to be connected with the player health. So we are using this placeholder, and then when we go in the player health script, instead of this placeholder health, we will use current health. That's exactly why we need our slider, why we need our placeholder. So also we will say slider dot value equals health, and we will need one more function just to update everything correctly. Public void. This time let's call this one set health. And again, I will create int health as a placeholder, and I will simply say here slider dot value equals health. Now that we have our two functions, so we have the max value and value, what we can do, we can basically save this scene, now save this script, and we can go in player help script. And first of all, I will just reference my health bar script in order to use its elements. So I will just say public health bar, and I will call it health bar with a lowercase h. When the game starts, we want to, already know that we want to start our game with a maximum amount of health. So it also means that our health bar should be maxed out, our health bar visual. And for that, in the void start, we will call set max health. So we will say health bar dot set max health, and now in the brackets, instead of our placeholder health, integer health, we can use our current health. So this way our current health will be connected to our maximum value. And in order to update everything correctly, when we get damaged, here we can say health bar equals set health this time, and we will pass current health here as well. So basically that's pretty much it. We can save this script as well, and let's go back. Let's select our player. We should drag health bar here. And now let's select health bar. We should drag slider here. And that's pretty much it. We have 5 health. Let's save scene and let's hit play. So let's get damaged. And as you see, when we get damaged, our health is decreasing, so our health bar visuals is working, and when it gets to 0, our health bar is empty and our player is hidden. And that's pretty much it. Easy way how you can create fully working health bar for your games. And if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like this one, subscribe to my channel, and ring the notification bell not to miss any new updates. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.